Justin Trudeau loves Donald Trump. Really loves Donald Trump. Let's get into it.
Oh, yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. I hope you guys had a great weekend as we head back into another work week. And, we got more to talk about today. Well, obviously, it's Justin Trudeau. This is the Justin Trudeau channel, after all, where all we talk about is Justin Trudeau all the time. At least that's how it seems here on the channel. The stories just never end. But one thing I wanted to talk about today was like a kind of a little bit more funny point about Justin Trudeau with Donald Trump. And we're starting to see it a lot in our politics in Canada that anytime Pierre Poilievre does something, of course, you hear guys like the clown, what is it they call him? The sad clown, the always sad clown, Mark Garrettson, come forward talking about how we're bringing MAGA politics into Canada. You hear Justin Trudeau mention the word MAGA multiple times. And, I hate to say it, but Canada could probably use a little bit of Donald Trump in here, especially when it comes time to treating the country more like a business and getting it back on track. I think that Donald Trump would do wonders in Canada when it comes to government. And I want to talk about a article put together by Brian Lilly in a moment from the Toronto Sun. But first, just to refresh you guys, just on how much Donald Trump loves Justin Trudeau, how much he favors him. You guys remember this doozy? From the G20 summit back when Donald Trump was president. Of course, you got Justin Trudeau here seeing Donald Trump. And he says, hey, Trump just goes back on with this conversation, completely ignores Justin. See, walks right away from him. And of course, Justin Trudeau, as he sat down with China at the table in Brazil, of course, they want nothing to do with him. They don't want anything to do with him. This guy's a joke. I mean, we've known this for years, but I just love touching back on this piece of comedy that Justin Trudeau, especially when it comes to Donald Trump, they completely ignore each other. Trump, again, if we go back even one video here, I had it on video for a second. Sorry, guys. When you see the meeting here, look at the way Donald Trump's sitting versus Justin Trudeau. Even the look on Donald's face while they're talking, like you can tell he doesn't take him serious. He brushes him off as a bit of a clown. He does make a joke here because this again was during the tariffs on lumber, and Trudeau wants to sit there and be like, haha, yeah, you cut your little jokes, and Donald Trump, he's more business, he's more serious, but the business world clearly does not take any favors of Justin Trudeau, as you can see by Donald Trump. Now, Brian Lilly showing that Trudeau fights to get Trump on the ballot in Canada. Now, when this article was actually forwarded to me by my wife, and shout outs to her for, again, she does her research while she's at work, trying to find interesting stories to talk about on this channel. So shout out to Miss Fringe for throwing that up there. She thought originally when she saw this that it meant that Trudeau was trying to get Donald Trump on the Canadian ballot, but that is not the case. It more talks about the MAGA politics headline and why Justin Trudeau is wanting to bring that into Canada. And that's one thing I wanted to touch on here, because as we get closer to the spring and as Parliament aims to go back into session and we talk about the infamous petitions in order to vote non-confidence for Justin Trudeau, the weight those are going to have and the pressure to have a spring election, this is something to keep an eye on, something that's going to come into play. Donald Trump is everywhere these days in American news, and his opponents seek to have him removed on the ballot. 2 states, Colorado and Maine, have already ruled Trump ineligible for election, which I think will be overturned. And there are decisions pending in 15 other states on Trump's ballot eligibility. Keep in mind, again, if I don't follow a ton of U.S. politics, but again, they do not want him on the ballot, because if he gets on the ballot, Biden's gone. We know that this is going to be the end of their grasp on America, just like Trudeau's grasp on Canada. But while in the United States, the effort is to make Trump off the ballot, in Canada, Justin Trudeau is desperately trying to get Trump on the ballot. Now, what they mean by that is, as polling numbers for the Prime Minister and the Liberals began to tank this past fall, their desperation to tarnish the name and image of Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre only increased, which again, we've seen many times on their attack fronts, even though they've failed miserably. They've spent the past several months trying to equate Poilievre and Donald Trump, confident that since most Canadians wouldn't vote for Trump, they supposedly won't support Poilievre if the Liberals can make the electorals see the two politicians as being the same. Anyone who has spoken to, followed, or covered Poilievre knows he's not anything like Trump, but that won't stop the Liberals. Their latest attempt to tie the two together is constantly refer to Canada's Conservatives in MAGA terms. So again, when we talk about putting Trump on the ballot, that's why they want people to focus on this MAGA, the MAGA group, the MAGA brand, the MAGA name. So MAGA or Make America. I almost said Make Alberta Great Again. Make America Great Again is the catchphrase Donald Trump used to help with in the 2016 presidential election. It went from being emblazoned on his bright red baseball cap to defining the movement both for supporters and opponents. There's no equivalent movement in Canada, but Trudeau's Liberals want you to think there is. From the time Trump announced his presidential run in December 2015 until now, the Liberals have used the term MAGA some 57 times in Parliament. A total of 55 of those references happened after Parliament resumed in September. So all but 3 references were since September, and 44 happened in the first 2 weeks of December before Parliament shut down for Christmas break. So again, rumblings of a spring election. They keep using... So we all know, and we've reported on how the Liberals had hired a new consultant to, I guess, fix the image of the Liberal parties. And of course, they've obviously done their due diligence by saying bring in the word MAGA, associate Poilievre with MAGA. I'm assuming that's what this is to do with anyways. House Leader Kevin Lamoureux led the way, with 29 references in December, while Trudeau himself was second with 4 mentions, ahead of party gutter snipe Mark Garrettson. The ideologically driven MAGA conservatives are calling for pollution to be free again, Trudeau said on December 13th, when Poilievre asked Trudeau to take the rest of the carbon tax off of farmers. Trudeau's answer to any criticism, if you disagree with him, you must be MAGA, far right, or importing, quote, American-style politics in Canada. This is why I wanted to touch on this, and this is where I found this interesting. You guys remember the last Canadian election? During lockdowns, during pandemic, when Trudeau's, you don't want to get on a train, you don't want to get on a plane with those dirty, unvaccinated people, you don't want to sit next to them, you're not going to have that in Canada. Well, this is what he's going to use in his next election. This is what he's going to label, separate, and divide people once again by saying, just like with the poke, if you don't get it, you're a misogynist, you're a racist, even though, that has nothing to do with race. They'll say you're a Nazi, you're all these terrible things. Well, now if you don't agree with Justin Trudeau, you're MAGA. And a lot of people who don't like Donald Trump and don't want to be associated with Donald Trump, they believe will fall in line because, well, they don't want to be associated with a guy like Donald Trump. The Liberals love to blast anything they believe in being an American-style politics to Canada, but this, in fact, is the party of Trudeau that are the masters at this. At the Liberal convention in May, Hillary Clinton was keynote speaker, which, by the way, a list dropped recently. I don't know if you guys have heard about this list. Apparently there's some kind of island that her husband Bill flew to over 50 times where they trafficked children. I don't know. I heard a little rumor about something like that. There was some kind of thing that went on with a list that leaked, and I don't know, Hillary's name was on that list as well. I'm sure it's all hogwash. I'm sure it's not real, guys, this list. They're just making them look bad, right? During that same convention, the Liberals heard from campaign strategists and activists who have worked on campaigns for Joe Biden, Stacey Abrams, Bernie Sanders, and more. In the past, they've hosted people like David Axelrod, who put Obama in the White House, and even Howard Dean. Trudeau and his Liberals love bringing Americans in to tell them how to run and win campaigns in Canada. It's obviously been effective given that they've won the last 3 federal elections. But it is a bit rich for them to accuse anyone of importing American-style politics, MAGA or otherwise, to Canada when Team Trudeau literally hires Americans to teach them how to win in Canada. There's also his penchant for importing American issues into Canadian politics. His reaction to the Roe v. Wade decision would have made you think a Canadian court, not an American one, had made a substantial ruling. He jumps on every high-profile mass shooting south of the border to push for stricter gun laws in Canada. And he reacts to any innovation in Canada, healthcare delivery, with warnings about creeping Americanization of Medicare. In 2024, Trudeau will take these tendencies and put them on steroids, thanks to Donald Trump, who will be omnipresent in the news on both sides of the border. And again, this is what should be something you should be watching out for. Count how many times, maybe, well, don't make it a drinking game, you'll get alcohol poisoning. But anytime they mention MAGA in the House of Commons when Parliament resumes later on this month, again, keep an eye out for that. I think it's going to be omnipresent, just like Donald Trump. I think that they're going to mention it multiple times and really try to hammer out this label that Pierre Poilievre is a racist, misogynist, cis white male who doesn't care about anything but, MAGA style politics. And maybe goes to hood meetings. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to say. Your guess is as good as mine. But I have noticed that this is very present in the House of Commons, and it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. I guess as we head back into the parliamentary season and as we get closer to the possibility of a spring election. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Do you think the strategy is going to work? Do you think people are going to be grossed out being compared to the Donald? Let me know what you guys think down below. If this is your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure as you're sliding on over to click that subscribe button, turn on your bell for notifications, because of course King Justin just does not like us talking about him here in the good old YouTube algorithm, so they tend to blacklist us a little bit and shadow ban. So make sure to like, share, comment, get it out there as much as you can, folks, because of course we want to embarrass Justin as much as we can here on the channel. Also, make sure to join us every Sunday night here on the channel at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time when we do the weekly wrap, and we go over everything that's happened in the week ahead, as well as the week behind us. And we have a little bit of back and forth with our community, and I get to hear what you guys have to say outside of the comments section. And it's always good to hear what you guys want to talk about and answer your questions. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there this upcoming Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and enjoyed this video. I'll catch you on the next one.